listening to the Community Link Crew on GFM 96.6.
Sally is here to talk about the 4th Pink Car Rally.
That's right.
So Sally, tell us a bit more about the big rally and on the big day itself as well.
Well, the Pink Car Rally is a concept that I came up with just over 4 years ago when I heard about a charity called the Little Princess Trust, which gives real hair wigs to children who lose their hair, mainly through cancer treatments, but also through alopecia. And it was started by a couple whose daughter had cancer, and sadly she died, and they wanted to do something constructive after her death, and they remembered that it was quite hard to get a wig for her when she lost her hair, and not only was it difficult to get a child wig, but it was also very expensive, so they decided to set up a charity to help other families in the same situation. I heard about the charity when it was quite young, it still is quite young, and I went to their AGM to find out more, promising myself I would not volunteer to do anything. I know my nature. Nope, I was just going to go and find out more. And they had their AGM, and at the end they were talking about raising awareness of the charity and raising more money, and they were talking about bringing in a PR company, and I just couldn't let them do it. You know, I've worked around PR companies. I know they can be expensive, and I know they don't necessarily get the results that you want. And I couldn't let that wig money, you know, be spent on a PR campaign. So I volunteered. I put my hand up and said, okay, you know, can I help? Can I do something for free? And they said, well, what can you do? And I had a pink car. I still have a pink car. And I said, well, I've got a pink car. And the charity logo was very pink. And I said, little girls wave at me the whole time. In fact, big girls wave at me too, and some women. And what about if we had a pink car rally? And they said, well, how would it work? So thinking on your feet as you do, I sort of said, well, it could go between two different hospitals, between two children's hospitals, a different one each year. And they said, oh, that's interesting. And I said, yes, we could make it a 5-year programme. And they're getting quite excited about this. But unfortunately, I'm one of these people that if somebody gets excited, I sort of bounce off it. And I heard myself say, and in year 5, we'll do John O'Groats to Land's End.
Oh, wow.
So we're in year 4. And I'm not thinking about year 5 at the moment. But what it is, we call it a pink car rally. It's more of a pink procession. And it literally drives in a sort of non-disturbing to other car users on the road convoy. and it goes between 2 hospitals. We always start it at Hereford simply because that's where the little girl who died was from. And then we take it to a different children's hospital each year. So the first year we did Bristol, the second year we did Birmingham, last year we did Oxford, and this year we're going to the Children's Hospital for Wales in Cardiff.
Wow, okay. So do you encourage people then when you're going along the motorways and you're going along the roads, people to beat their horns and wave and stuff like that?
The rally is the most amazing experience because, you know, people, and you can see people's expressions when they suddenly see all of these pink cars. And, you know, the first year we had 15 cars and people were shocked at that. We managed to get together 39 last year.
Wow.
And it was we had the most amazing reactions. You know, everyone was tooting, waving, flashing. I mean, it was we laughed for the whole day. Our faces ached. You know, like when you get married, probably not married, but when you get married and you smile all day for the campus and you know, your face really aches. And it was just like that. It was just such a fun day.
That does sound fantastic. So if people want to get involved, what if you haven't got a pink car?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, at the moment, I'm trying my hardest to find pink cars within the UK, because you may be surprised to know that although this rally runs from, you know, Hereford to this year to Cardiff. I'm a Gloucester person. I live and have my business in Gloucester. People travel from Scotland, North Wales, Sussex, and they bring their pink cars to Hereford to run the rally. So distance is no object whatsoever. It seems to me that pink car owners just love the idea. My challenge is to let more pink car owners know it exists. So the first thing, you know, is trying to contact them all. And sadly, because I don't have a tragic story with a hook for the national press and no celebrity attachment, they won't put it in. So I've written a letter to the editor of 350 regional newspapers, who are slowly but surely putting it in, to try and find, and you may be surprised at this, There's 7,569 pink cars in the UK, and that figure is supplied by the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. It's a phenomenal amount of pink cars, and trying to, get them all on board is quite a challenge. But, if you haven't got a pink car, you can still come in the rally, because I was lucky enough to win a competition about 2 years ago, which was run by National Express. It's called Bling My Coach, and people were invited to bling a coach online. So you basically had a coach template and lots of colours, and you just coloured it and sent it in, and it said, if you won the competition, where would you take your coach? So I blinged mine pink and said I would take it on the pink car rally, so that people who don't have pink cars can get a ride on the pink coach. And I was in the final 5. It went to public vote. We got everyone voting, and I won. So last year we had a National Express pink coach, which is, you may, listeners may have seen it around Gloucester. It is absolutely gorgeous. And passengers, we had pink passengers that did the trip. This year we're lucky enough, they're helping us again. They've kept the coach pink, and we have still got tickets available. At the moment, people would need to make their way to Hereford, and then they get the ride from Hereford down to Cardiff and back. It's a complete day trip. The tickets are £20 each. You get a T-shirt and a goodie bag, and then the money goes to the charity. But at the moment, I am negotiating to try and have the coach to stop and pick up in Gloucester.
Oh, that would be good, yeah.
I managed it last year, so I'm on the case. So if anybody does want a ticket on the coach, it's a really, really good idea to get in touch quickly, and then I can keep them up to date of whether, it is stopping in Gloucester or whether they would need to go to Hereford. They don't need to commit if they don't want until they know.
See, and that's fantastic, because I did say off air, and I said it earlier on today, I saw the pink coach. I don't know where I was. I was literally around by the bus station and was going somewhere, and I saw this massive National Express coach in pink, and I did stop and I double took, and I thought, wow, that's a pink coach. And I saw some writing on the back, and for the life of me, I think it must, I'm not sure if it says something about the fourth pink car rally, which I think it does. So I remember stopping and seeing it and thinking, oh, that looks really interesting. But yeah, it's huge, and it's cool, and it's pink. And I'm not a huge fan of pink either, but I was really impressed with that. So, sorry, Robin's face.
You never come across as sort of pink person, have you?
No, I'm not really a pink person, but I think it was just because it's something, it's something that's so big, and it's normally so white, and you just think, oh yeah, there's a National Express coach. But it was just there, and it was pink, and it was just like, well, you instantly knew when you saw it that this is for a cause. There's something more to that, and I think that's what it does, is it gets people interested, gets people looking.
Catch your eye.
There you go. You're going to see it now, Robin. Keep your eye up. Well, you can't miss it, to be fair.
You can't. You really can't miss it. And it does, Gloucester, Cheltenham. I think it starts at Hereford. So Hereford, Gloucester, Cheltenham, London route very often. Occasionally it'll go down to Cardiff, but it's actually in their main fleet. And there is an I Spy book out, I've been told. I haven't seen it yet, but I believe there's an I Spy book of coaches or some such, and the pink coach is in it.
Oh,
and,
wow.
we have messages all the time. I was having texts, we've seen the pink coach, and it really is. It does stop people in their tracks. Be interesting to know if any of the listeners have seen it, really.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody out there's seen a pink coach, let us know, definitely. Let us know what you think. And even if you can maybe snap a picture of it and get it up on our Facebook, our GFM group. I will, believe me. I'll literally be in the middle of the road, so stop! Photo. So, Sally, if people want to come along to the car rally, what time do they need to be there? Have we got any idea about those yet?
Yes, indeed. For people with pink cars, they need to be at the County Hospital car park in Hereford around about between 9:30 and 10. We leave at 10:30, but before we leave, there's a lot of preening, there's a lot of competition. Who's got the pinkest car? Who's got the most pink outfit? We all inspect each other's sort of aerial balls and pink dice in the car. It's really quite good fun, and some of the outfits are amazing. And I would say to anyone that hasn't got a pink car, it's actually worth the drive over just to have a look. But if they go onto our website, at the bottom of the homepage of the website, they'll see a video clip of the rally. Snips from the rally, and also on our links page we've also got some more film, and it's just amazing. We were lucky enough that the Cotswold Cup TV came and filmed it for us, and they did it for free. I mean, we've been very, very lucky with the support, and those films can be seen on our website, and honestly they're just so worth looking at.
And you just said there, so what is the website then if people want to have a look online?
Okay, it's www.pinkcarrally.com. RALLY.com.
So people can go online and have a good look at some of the photos and whatnot.
We're also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, which we set up fairly recently. We're trying to get lots of likes. And that is Facebook. If you go onto Facebook and you just look for Pink Car Rally, you'll find it. And if you like it, I would be absolutely delighted.
That's brilliant. Another thing that I wanted to ask, actually, is it, you know, because obviously there is an important message behind this and there is an important cause. So are you fundraising, or are you just looking to raise awareness, or is it a combination of both of those
That's
things?
a really interesting question, because initially in the first year it was about raising awareness of the charity, because obviously the more children or the more parents of children that know about the charity, the more children that they can help. So raising awareness is a very, very important thing. But we quickly found on the first one that money started to come in and people were saying, oh, can I give you some money? So we thought, oh. So from that point on it became both, and there's a Just Giving site. You can look up the Pink Car Rally 2011 team on Just Giving. I'm also on there, and other team members are linked into the team so people can make donations. But yes, it is. It's about raising money and raising awareness of this very small charity. It employs just 2 part-time staff and the rest of us are just volunteers. So the money is spent on wigs, which to me is very important.
Yes, yeah. How much work goes into organising this each year then? And how far in advance do you start organising?
Well, I have to say, as soon as this one is over, or as soon as last one's was over, we were looking at this year's date, and we were sending out date notifications and things and trying to organise and confirm the hospital that they're happy for us to go, because we don't want to cause any obstruction or anything. And that was a big, big process, takes quite a lot of time. Now the rally is approaching, because I can't get this national coverage that I so desperately want through the media, I'm having to do it all myself with emails and, you know, Facebook things. And don't get me wrong, the other pinkies are helping, they're sending, I've got a girl that's tweeting and doing things. But, you know, I organise it, and because of this lack of media interest, which really frustrates me, you know, I'm up till 1 or 2 in the morning just plugging it. And the worst thing of all, and I must tell you this because I just think it's quite shocking, last year in one of the Sunday newspapers, who I probably shouldn't name, they had a photo of a little girl, and she had an adult wig. And it looked awful, and she was very sad, and the story said, you know, she was very upset because she got this adult wig, and it was provided by the NHS, because really it depends, it's a bit like the postcode lottery, you know, where you live depends on what quality of wig you get. In some areas you may get a real hair wig, in another you'll get a hat with acrylic plaits attached. And looking at ethnic wigs, you know, it's hard. We can provide everything, but it you know, if you look at relying on NHS, it is difficult. Yeah. So they had this photograph in the paper, so I immediately contacted them and said, "Oh, do you know about the Little Princess Trust? Do you know that we can do children's wigs?" "Oh, yes." So I said, "Well, you didn't mention it in the article." And they said, "No, there was no room." So I said, well, OK, well, why can't you do another article and mention it so we can help lots of children throughout the UK? And I'm also organising this Pink Car Rally. It's going to be very visual. And she said, no, I need a story with a hook. So I contacted all the Pink participants that had expressed an interest and said, has anybody got a story that I can put to National Express, oh dear, hey, another plug, to the national media. And one of the girls came back to me and she said, you can tell my story. I have terminal cancer. I was given 5 years to live. I'm in my early 30s. I've got children. I'm putting together video diaries so that when my children get to 18, they can play this video of me talking. So she gave me her name and I Googled her and I watched one of these and it was just, it was just, well, it moved me quite a lot. And so I went back to her and said, are you sure? Because, the press, can be like a dog with a bone. She went, no, if it helps put my story out there. So I ran the newspaper and said, this is what I've got. And do you know what their response was? I don't think you'd believe me.
What did they say to that?
Lots of people are dying from cancer. What's different? What's the hook? Is her husband fighting in Afghanistan? Is she having bad treatment from the NHS? Because we need a story.
And that does disgust me, especially because, broadcast journalism and the media is something I want to go into. And it was actually this morning on the bus I was reading a book about ethical journalism, and one of the criticisms of journalism is that that's what it's like, is that there's not enough people out there pushing for a story. You know, it's as you just said there, Sally, why does it need a hook? You know, isn't it a hook itself to say, you know what, we've covered this story previously, but we've got new information. There are charities out there that can help people.
And I think they think this is what we, the public, want, and it is, and you know, it's a really hard balance, because you know, when you have something awful that happens, you know, heaven forbid, people go out there and they buy the newspapers like mad to read it, you know, and so they're looking at that and thinking, this is what sells newspapers, you know, happy stories, you know, don't. And this is the situation we're in. But the sad thing is, when you look at society and you just think how negative it is around us, you know?
Yes, yeah.
I just think it's really, really sad.
Yeah. And it's not a true reflection, as you're proving here with the 4th Pink Car Rally. It's not a true reflection of society, is that there are happy moments out there and there are people actively making a difference. I mean, I think it's a really interesting point what you've made, because as the listeners will know, anyone who listens regularly will know, I'm constantly moaning about my hair. It's all I do on this show is moan about my hair. Given half the chance, it's raining, I'm moaning. But
He also moans about it off air as well.
See, there you go. But your hair, you know, whether you're a man or a woman, your hair, as you know, as my grandmother always says, is your beauty. And it's one of those things that, you know, if you weren't to have it, or if you were to lose it for an illness, you really feel it, because it adds to your personality, it adds to how you feel about yourself. And to know that you're out there and you can provide these wigs for young children or for, you know, older adults.
We provide wigs for age 2 to 18. So,
okay.
You know, any child or young person that's lost their hair through cancer treatment or alopecia, you know, we can help them. We can provide them with one of these, you know, lovely wigs. And hair loss, you're right, at any age, even, you know, for the people that are getting older, the men that are getting perhaps, you know, a little bit older and start to lose their hair. We all have insecurities about these things, and to an extent we can rationalise, or it doesn't help much, but you can think, oh, you know, maybe it's this or that. When it's a child, you know, they can't rationalise this, and we all know how cruel children can be to other children, you know. And I just think what this charity does is remarkable. I think the couple that started it are absolutely amazing, and that's basically why I put myself forward and volunteered, you know, just to see if I could help spread the word.
One thing I will ask you, Sally, is that you've expressed the difficulty with the NHS in providing these wigs. It may be an obvious question to ask, but are they expensive? Is that one of the factors involved?
It is indeed. I think, you know, an average price, well, I'm not sure what it currently is, but it certainly was about £1,200.
Oh, gosh.
Which is, you know, it's difficult for the NHS, and it's also difficult for, you know, parents who have to possibly think they have to fund it themselves. And the thing is, if you know, none of us want these things to happen. If something happened to a child that we knew, the family are going to have so much on their plate, so much to deal with, that trying to source or fight for the right wig or anything like that is just not the thing to do. It's just not the thing. And that's why it's vital to get the news of the charity out throughout all of the UK, so that people can say, I know someone that can help you with that.
Yeah. Well, I know Chris will be listening, and he's got a wonderful, wonderful habit of literally following up our shows and putting information onto our GFM website on Facebook, you know, so people can see it there. And once again, they can always listen to the show again tomorrow from 11 to 12 in case they missed any of the information, or follow up on our website, because it does sound like a wonderful cause, and it sounds as though, if nothing else, you're going to have a lot of fun on Sunday the 4th of September. Yeah, if you once again though, Sally, please give us the contact details.
Okay, well, the website is www.pinkcarrally.com, and find us on Facebook. We've also set up a Twitter account, which is Pink Car Rally, and we try and encourage people to tweet it as much as possible. Or you can basically phone me. My phone number is Gloucester 01452 618899.
Thank you very much, Sally, for coming into the studio and telling us a bit more about the 4th Pink Car Rally. And I hope to hear about the 5th, to be honest with you, next year as well.
Yeah, the 5th one, John O'Groats to Land's End, I don't quite know. I mean, I've done 3 or 4 dummy runs of this one to Cardiff from Hereford already. I don't quite know how I'm going to deal with John O'Groats to Land's End, but if there are people listening who are from, Scotland or any other stages down that line that would be travelling, I would love to talk to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sally.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Community Link Crew on GFM 96.6.
Tell your friend, tell a friend. 96.6 GFM.